Hello, welcome to this Fire Emblem Engage draft run. I should put an image up of the draft right here. If you don't know, recently I did a draft with 3 other players whose channels will be in the description below. And yeah, this is just sort of a for fun draft, not like a race or an LTC. We are going to keep track of turn count, but it's not really like a, you know, it's not a thing. We're just sort of doing it for fun. Yeah, so while we're just getting through the sort of boring-ish prologue chapter, let's talk about my team. I'm pretty happy with how my draft went. I think there's a few areas that I could have picked better. I picked Alfred second, which is not, like, good. But I just like using Alfred, especially in the early game. I don't know why, I just like him. But yeah, our team is pretty strong, especially towards the mid-game. We get, like, Ivy, Pandreo, and Panette. A lot of the good units. I got Timerra, who's fun. I got Amber, who's, like, yeah, good.
Thanks to you, this world.
So I'm pretty happy with my, like, draft team. The free units we get are Alear, Etie, Vander, and Bunet. So Etie and Vander are good for the early game. I might keep using Etie, to be honest. She's not the worst. Although I did get Alcryst, but you can use both of them just fine. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my draft. The only problem is early game. Especially chapter 4, the chapter where you get Saline, because that boss has a ton of defense. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do damage to them. That's why this game doesn't really work well as like a draft race or an LTC. Unless you make either Clan or Saline free for the early game, or at least for Chapter 4. And Chapter 3, kind of, because whoever has Clan in Chapter 3... This is on Maddening, by the way. On Maddening, bosses don't receive effective damage. I think that's different on lower difficulties. I think they do. So Alear with the Rapier from Marth Engage can deal with them. Marth is also one of the free emblems. So yeah, I think on lower than Maddening, a draft race is like perfectly fine. But on Maddening, you kind of need Clan or Saline to go fast. Ideally, to be honest, Clan. I mean, ideally both of them. So that's sort of why we're just sort of doing this casually. And we have sort of said that, you know, if we have issues with Chapter 4, which is entirely possible, because I don't even know if any of my units are going to be able to damage the boss. I think Vander can. I did draft Sigurd, so I have Sigurd for that chapter, which is really nice. I really like having Sigurd for that chapter, although Sigurd's not even that useful, because the thing that Sigurd's best at in that chapter is helping to save Chloe and Louis, but I didn't draft either of them. I might try and save them anyway, just because, you know, I like recruiting all units, even if I'm not necessarily using them. But, you know. Yeah, I think that's basically my draft recap. The free emblems are Marth, Leif, and Celica, and Alear, obviously. And, oh, Micaiah. Micaiah's an interesting one because she's just so powerful that it's like, well, she's always kind of going to get first picked. And sort of the problem is, she's not the problem. But it's just she's so powerful that, you know, it makes it a lot less likely for people to get soft-locked, basically, in the late game. So you can just warp skip maps and, you know. She's just a fun emblem to just sort of have. And then the ones that we drafted are Sigurd and Ike. So, not bad. Sort of my whole team is kind of built around them, which is pretty nice. Trying to use, like, make the best use of Lance power and X power. other than that, we also drafted weapons, which is like an interesting thing to do, but quite fun, to be honest. So I first picked Revanche and Represailles. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is sort of like interesting, maybe not the most optimal. But to be honest, I think they're like two pretty good weapons. They're just like good day-to-day weapons. I also got the Brave Lance and the Brave Axe, and the Brave Bow, and the Nova Tome, so almost all of the Brave weapons. So that's pretty nice for all of my Lance Power and Axe Power that I have from the 2 emblems that I drafted. What else do I have? I got Elfire, which is going to be really good for Ivy and Pandreo. Not as good as like Bolganone, but you know, we make do. I had the option of taking Excalibur instead, which I think is like a bit better. It's just harder to use. Or not harder to use, it's just you get it later. And forging up to it from an Elwind is a little expensive, and I'd rather just forge up an Elfire, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot of weapons that we get for free, like pretty much all the basic weapons, all the steel weapons except for daggers.
Let's head to the castle.
And then all the silver weapons except for bows and daggers. It's a bit complicated, to be honest. But, you know, I'll just not mess up. But yeah, we didn't have to, like I think hand axes and javelins had to be drafted, so I didn't end up with any 2-range melee weapons, which kind of sucks. I also got, yeah, I think I've gone over all the weapons that I drafted. But, like, notable things that we don't have is, like, most of the effective weapons. Or at least the Wormslayer and Rider's Bane. We don't have any killer weapons, but that's fine. And yeah, we don't really have much 1-2 range for melee. And yeah, the first chapter was basically exactly the same. And this is, I guess, the first chapter that anything's different, because we don't get to use Clan or Fram. So we need to make sure that they don't see combat as much as possible. Although we'll want to trade over our vulneries as quickly as possible. There we go. But yeah, this should be interesting. I've never really done draft in this game, and I also haven't done
as your steward.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I haven't really like not used Clan or Fram for this chapter specifically, so I don't know if it like becomes hard. Like, I'd imagine not, but I don't really know, like, at all. But yeah, the only problem is we might have to use a bunch of vulneries. And yeah, Chapter 4 is going to be really hard. Chapter 3 shouldn't be too hard because we have Etie and Alfred. So that's not too bad. This archer would kill Alear. That's actually quite annoying.
I'll manage.
Would engaging even help? Probably not. Oh, I guess we'll just hit with Vander and then just back up.
I will defend, always.
Your steward's ready.
So yeah, this should be a fun run. I'm pretty happy with my team. And yeah, we're gonna do some little recaps at the end of chapter 11 and the end of chapter 19 and endgame. Just to sort of go over how our teams are doing. I'm pretty sure Alear doesn't take more than 13 from Timerra, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do those little recaps just to talk about how our teams are going. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for this run. So I hope you all are too. Yeah, sorry, I know things have been a bit slow recently. Yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll keep up the pace with this run. And then I know I still have that FE7 run that I'm doing, which will be brought back, I promise. Not that it ever really went anywhere. I just sort of have been recording it in big batches, and I just haven't done the recent batch. So that's sort of what's been going on with that. Maybe I should have saved Lodestar Rush for Timerra. Oh well.
I am your weapon. Queen.
Vander, attack.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So we can get through the early game pretty easily. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have attacked here, actually. Just as I was saying that, I mess up. I mean, what if we just dodge, you know? Okay, I've actually managed to get past the first part of this chapter this time, which is quite nice. But yeah, I haven't really done the early game of this game with so few units. So this should be interesting. Normally I at least use like Fram and Clan. At least just for like this chapter and next chapter. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. There's Sigurd. I think we should be fine if we just keep pulling these two back.
The Divine Dragon looked at me!
Shut up, Fram. Oh. This game sure is something sometimes. I think we'll put Vander here and just have him deal with the left two enemies, then that should be fine.
This is the mission of the stewards.
Yeah, Vander, I would assume it's mostly going to be used in the early game, although I do get him for the whole game.
Here until the end.
So I wonder if there is potentially something to using him a bit longer. I don't know, I guess he can always just, like, turn into a Griffin Knight, and then be fine. That's annoying. So as I was trying to say, before I was so rudely interrupted, yeah, I guess Vander can just fly around as a Griffin Knight and do staff things, and maybe hit people sometimes? I think that's probably fine. As for what I want to do with all of my other units, I don't have, like, too many, like, hard plans. I mostly just want to go with the flow and see what happens, but I guess probably like Alfred, Ivy, and Timerra are probably gonna all just stay in their unique classes. They're all like decently good for them. I mean, decently good. Ivy's is obviously like the best class in the game, so she'll definitely be staying in Lindworm. I think that's her one and not Hortensia's one anyway. Yeah, Hortensia's one is Sleipnir Rider. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping Ivy as a Lindworm. And then Timerra's definitely probably going to stay in her unique. Just because sort of the only thing she really wants to be doing is Sandstorm. Just praying for Sandstorm procs. Although with like Lance Power and all that. Oh, okay, thank you, Vander. Anyway, back to team discussion. Alfred's the only one that I'm not sure about. I don't know if he wants a different class than... Ooh, what's this personal class called? Not Vidam, that's Saline. I don't entirely remember. But like, the Lotus skill is pretty good. I don't know if he would prefer to just be a paladin, maybe? I don't know, after I have a look at his stats, I haven't used him too much long term. Or when I have, I just wanted to use him in his base class. So I haven't really looked at what he might be able to turn into. Maybe I just want him flying around with Brave Lance and Lance Power. That would make sense. As for Alcryst, I don't really know if I'm going to keep him in base class. It's honestly not great. I might just want to have him do Radiant Bow stuff. Just shooting down flyers with Radiant Bow is probably the best that he's ever going to get to be.
Yield.
Which is fine.
I will defend, always.
Then Amber we have. I think Amber's probably just going to want to run around as a paladin. Sort of basically the same as Alfred. Run around as a paladin. Maybe fly. Depending on what we want to do with him. I might make him something like a halberdier or a warrior.
I'll manage.
If I just need the stats on him. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with him. But we'll figure something out. And then Panette and Pandreo are probably... Panette's probably going to go warrior. Oh, actually that's in Lumeria range, isn't it? Oh my god. I always forget the exact tile. Oh, she doesn't even die. I mean, I guess I probably still need to reset, because I technically used a unit. So yeah, that's basically it for our plans. Mauviers probably just want to go Griffin, and fly around and do staff stuff. As for the free units, I don't really know what I guess, yeah, Etie probably just wants to be warrior. I think I said that already.
Me? Okay.
But I don't know if I'm going to use Bunet. He's just so bad. Like, really, he's just terrible. So I don't know. Probably not. But maybe. I don't know. I guess he is free. So I'll have the deployment. I guess the deployment slot, I might as well deploy him. Like if there's nothing else to do.
I've got this.
And yeah, as for the plans for our emblems, I have kind of an interesting situation where I have more early game emblems than I do have early game units, which is a little weird. Just because we get like Marth, Celica, and Micaiah and Leif for free. So we're in that sort of weird place. And I also drafted Sigurd. But I think Sigurd's probably just gonna want to spend time on Cavaliers. And then I also have Ike. I don't know who I want my Ike user to be. Probably either Panette or Timerra. Maybe even Alfred. Like Alfred has a lot of defense.
Onward.
I mean, we'll see when we get there.
This is the mission of the stewards.
And it looks like I've finally actually done this chapter. As long as I don't mess up the Lumeria bit, which I very well might. I think this is the line. Yeah, that's sort of the plan.
You called?
As for the early game, we're just gonna kind of suffer because I don't have any good early game units. I mean, I have Alear and Vander and Alfred, and all of them aren't bad. Like they're perfectly fine. just maybe not what some might call optimal. Arguably. Let's see. Do I want to do this with Alear? Probably. I think I want to get more experience compared to, like... I could try and defeat the map this turn, but then we need Vander to hit this, which is a 50, and I don't really want him to need to hit that. The fact that he dodged Lumer's first Rider's Bane makes this significantly easier.
This is...
Your end? What?
And then yeah, we just sort of have to... I mean, I guess we're mostly in the same situation where we're just... Oh, she moved off of the Avoid Tab. And that makes things easier as long as Vander hits this. Okay, cool. And we're finally out of this chapter. Which I certainly appreciate. And yeah, we are playing on fixed growths, so, you know, just to make things a bit fairer. Here is chapter 3, I think this is officially. So yeah, this is where we kind of see the benefits and the disadvantages of our draft. So Abim has 40 defense, right? So basically no one can deal damage to her except for Vander, which is fine. It's going to be a lot worse next chapter. And yeah, we also get Etie and Alfred here. Etie is free, but she's pretty important for this chapter to shoot down the flies. But yeah, we also get Alfred Alfred this chapter, which is nice. Although not really necessary. Now, we just have to make sure that we're not using Clan off Ram at all.
Right at me.
I usually send Vander up here, although he just gets broken by this guy, which is fine. I mostly just want him to intercept the flyers so they don't start just going for Clan and Fram.
I can fight.
The other unit we get this map is Boucheron, who I did not draft, although I did want to draft Boucheron, but he didn't end up coming around to me. I thought he would go later than he did, although I was 4th in the draft pick, so, you know. I sort of had to just go with what happened. So I ended up getting Alcryst instead of Boucheron. Alcryst and Mauvier, I guess. I don't know what I would have picked, like which one of them. I think probably I would have gone Boucheron. Just, I like Boucheron. Boucheron's not good. Let's be very clear about that. Like, it's not like I missed out on anything, I just like him. Also having an early game backup unit is nice, but yeah, his stats are just sort of not exceptional. But yeah, here's Alfred and Etie. So Etie can start shooting down flyers.
That was a good session.
What's our move?
I can still fight. I am the 32nd Steward of the Dragon.
This chapter isn't really bad at all. Chapter 4 is going to be the painful one. Unfortunately. All of these guys over here are annoying. I think probably I just move Alear over here. Just so we can get closer to our other units, because like Alear's just going to get broken by the Pegasus Knights. There's not a ton we can do about that. Wow, you actually died there. Wow, okay. I mean, fair enough.
No.
Okay, let's try this again.
As your
I
steward.
don't know, maybe I am supposed to have Vander do things over on this side? And then I guess just Etie and Alfred can deal with these guys. It's probably not the worst if I just have Vander attack here.
I've got this.
And then we don't even need... I know we do need to engage. Okay, fine. Which is fine. Usually you want to engage really early anyway. Just in this game in general.
To lose. As your steward.
And yeah, we'll send Clan and Fram
Divine Dragon looked at me!
to safety. And Vander just gets broken here, which is annoying, but I guess... See, I don't even know if this is better. Cause like... I guess Etie can shoot you.
For you, anything.
Alfred... 2 shots there, which is nice.
What's next?
I guess we can do this.
Yeah.
That's not the worst. Although would Etie just die too? That's 9. What's your speed? So you do get double tier, so that's... yeah, you will just die. Fine. We'll do this.
I live to fight again.
No. Oh no, Alfred can't hit you. That's annoying.
Pretty weak.
Yeah, this chapter can be pretty annoying because it's just sort of here to teach you that it's really annoying to get your units broken. So it just sort of throws you at a bunch of different stuff. Ooh, Clan gets attacked here. Well, damn it. Fine, I'll reset. It's early. Okay, I went for a bit of a different start this time, so hopefully it'll work better. It'll be really nice for the Revanche this, but no, okay, fine, whatever. I feel like Alear might just be dead to flies now. Oh, I can move them down to the bottom right. And then as long as Vander can take out the sword one, there's nothing that's gonna threaten to break him. Okay, maybe this does work.
I am as strong as ever.
I'll manage.
So yeah, this chapter shouldn't be too bad, but it's not going great. Chapter 4 is probably going to take a really, really long time.
Where to?
Yeah, without Saline,
We fight for peace.
it might just take a minute or two. I think Vander can deal damage to the boss. I think. The boss of chapter 2, that is. I think I might need to give Vander Sigurd for momentum, although then I'd have to level up their bond rank to that point, which would probably require giving Vander most of the kills on that map. Anyway, now that we're done with the start of this map, it should be
Pretty weak.
all of the attempts that we need to do. As most of the trouble here was just protecting our undrafted units. Yeah, I just have to make sure that I'm not using any undrafted weapons or anything.
I'm all set.
But I don't think we have any yet. So that's good. Do I want to move Alear in here? Probably not. I can put Alfred up here. But yeah, we're just going to need to spam vulneraries until we get Micaiah, because I don't have a staff unit for the early game. Which is fine, there's really only one, which is Fram.
What a workout!
I mean, I guess you get Jean the chapter before you get Micaiah, but, you know, really that's not much of a difference. Have Vander take out those Pegasus Knights. Alfred can defeat that one.
Serves you right.
And then either Alear or Etie.
All right.
Can Alear? Oh, Alear can one tap.
I am the divine dragon.
Ooh.
I won't
Even a
forget
fancy little crit too. Isn't that nice? Great.
You called? I am the 32nd Steward of the Dragon.
I think we should be okay here. If we put Alfred here? Oh no, not Alfred there. Yeah, we definitely can't put Alfred there. I guess Leif. And then we put Alfred here. Although Alfred could get attacked by... I guess Alfred wants to go here. But yeah, maybe I tried to go too fast. Maybe Vander isn't supposed to pull those Pegasus Knights. I mean, if they just want to attack Vander, then that's fine.
Who
I am.
Like that, yeah, that's all fine.
I can still fight.
And then, yeah, I think Vander 2
here
rounds.
until the end?
If we just pull back.
For you, anything.
Then yeah, Etie does a lot of damage here. Oh, but he gets broken. That's the problem. That's still fine actually though.
I am.
I guess we just have to make sure he doesn't die. How much do you take? Only one, but they would be getting backup attack.
Here goes.
So maybe I need to put you here.
I'm starting to feel it.
Alright. This chapter isn't too much of an issue, hopefully.
You were a good fight.
Now, can Vander afford to attack here? I don't think so, right? Because then you move down, hit for 1, right? Hit for 1, but then with a backup attack that would do 10, so yeah, you would exactly die. So we just have to heal you, unfortunately. Well, I guess Alfred might die. Although, I don't think he does. He just have a Lear aura. Yeah, he's fine.
Anything.
Now we can do this.
I can do better.
You don't do any damage with Lodestar Rush, right? Oh, you did with the Rapier. Okay.
I live to fight again.
And yeah, Etie even does damage. This boss isn't too bad compared to Chapter 4. I'm just trying to figure out, because they heal, I'm just trying to figure out if Alear Lodestar Rushing with Rapier is more damage, or if Alear supporting is more damage. And I think Alear supporting is more damage, I just don't know if it's enough to kill. Because we get 5 here, and you do 9 and 9, so that's 18, so that's a total of 23. And then you would do another 5, so that would be 28. So actually that should do it. We just put Etie here. And then Alear here. Yeah, that should do it. I guess Vander might crit as well.
Your final
And he does. Which, is fine actually. Like, the experience on Alfred isn't gonna make or break anything, I don't think. Although yeah, Vander doesn't gain anything at all.